get involved with, I suppose, and from your own personal perspective?
Yeah, no, absolutely amazing. Really blessed with a long career, but to take the field and to finish on the same day as a special guy, an absolute legend of the game, Ross Taylor. I mean that's just something you can't describe. I think it's difficult to put it in words. Absolute legend, and just to walk on the same field is such a blessing.
In terms of the tour, 3 ODIs against the BLACKCAPS, what do you think the team got out of this experience? How valuable would it be for them going forward?
Unbelievably valuable for our youngsters. We came here with quite a young squad, as we've got a few county players who weren't available. I know the BLACKCAPS also missing a few players due to IPL, but I think they've literally showed why they're the #1 team in the world. Whether it's Test cricket, ODIs or T20s, they dominate. And for our youngsters to play against them, it's a massive learning curve. And I think the one thing we can really take out of it for our youngsters is basically to see how they converted. Every game there was 100. Today 2. So absolutely, fantastic, and I hope that our youngsters can learn from it. Unfortunately for Holland, we don't get to play a lot of games, and I do think with the more games you play, obviously the easier it becomes to score those hundreds.
Cool. And Malha, I think you're online.
Thanks, Willie. Hi, Stephan, great on today. Peter Saylor mentioned at the start of the series that you wanted to compete as a squad. Regardless of what the scoreline suggests, how satisfied are you with the side's efforts?
So I think actually we had very good periods at times. I think especially the second game when we had them 30-odd for 5. Where just maybe, didn't go our way, but also Latham batted extremely well and showed his class. But I think, the scoreline probably shows that we got dominated, but I do think at stages we played some very good cricket and gave the BLACKCAPS a good run for their money.
And just finally, the last time the Dutch toured New Zealand, that was in 2014, I think you were a part of the squad. When you left the shores of New Zealand that time, a lot of uncertainty you faced about the future. But now when you leave, the Netherlands is quite battle-hardened, and now you host a lot of heavyweight opponents. How do you think this opportunity and the further opportunities are going to help the nation?
Yeah, so 2014, I was an unfortunate part of that team that we lost our ODI status back then, and we really didn't know where to go, but we pushed back hard and actually had a very good 2014 World Cup. Because there's no better way to do it than just to work harder and come back stronger and better. And I think now we've got quite a few youngsters in the team, and I do think the future is bright. I do hope that Netherlands cricket can play a few more games against the top nations. I know the Super League's going to stop, which is, I think, a shame for Netherlands cricket. But I do hope that we get to play, against teams like New Zealand, who's phenomenally strong, because that's the only way our youngsters are going to learn even more.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Hi, Stephan. You've touched upon it a few times already, but what was it like for you to play this final series? Sadly, not all the matches that we planned to, of course, but with a few of those really young guys that showed themselves so greatly. Of course, referring to Vikram, but also Aryan, of course, still very young, not to mention Bas. What was it like for you as maybe a mentor to guide them along this big trip for them?
Yeah, so I would say the last year or two, I've actually been working full-time for the last 3 years, where I haven't been able to train much, train probably once a week. So whenever you get an opportunity to travel with the boys, I've really tried to be a mentor and friend to them. I've spent a lot of time with the youngsters on this trip as well. Just trying to help them settle down, be at ease, and to realize that they're very gifted players, and then they've got what it takes to be a success at this level. So, yeah, for me it was a big thing to try and be a mentor to those youngsters, and I hope I have been able to help them on the way for the last couple of years.
Last question.
Yeah, and then just quickly, how do you view the upcoming year for you with a few important T20I matches coming still? Is that something you can now fully focus on?
Yeah, so we've got the T20 World Cup qualifiers, and then hopefully another World Cup. So yeah, I think stopping with ODI cricket it does help a little bit, so I can just focus on T20 cricket. So I would like to be in that team, and I'm obviously going to try and work as hard as possible to get into that team and to do as well as possible for the Netherlands, because I think these players also deserve to go to a World Cup. Great bunch of guys. They work extremely hard and they've got a lot of talent. So if we keep our feet on the ground, I'm sure we can achieve that.